mission is to enable you to be the transformative executives of tomorrow. We are fortunate that today we have really great organizations like Seva, like Sulabh Sauchalay, like Blind People's Association, like Jaipur Rugs. But these organizations have not come on their own. There are some people responsible in their growth and development. Now you call those people great, it is up to you. But those people who have created these organizations, or those people who have taken up the responsibility of leadership in these organizations, they are responsible for creating these great organizations today. So it is the, organizations are layers. They have layers of culture. There is some core culture which is in the center of the organization, which consists of core values, core philosophies, core ideas. Then there are some outer layers. But all these are created by the leaders of the organizations, whose primary responsibility is to create values, whose primary responsibilities is to create a belief system, culture, norms. All these things are created by leaders. So when you will be the leaders of the organization, you may be an engineering company or services company or any company, doesn't matter. But one very important thing is you all will be creating culture. You all will be creating values. You all will be creating norms, which will create the basic foundation for that organization, right? For constructing a building, you require foundation, which is not visible, but that is the most important thing. Similarly, for organizations, the culture, the values, the belief system is not visible, but that is the most important thing. And you will be responsible for creating those things. So once you create those things, you are going to become the heroes of tomorrow, right? You are heroes. You will be the heroes of tomorrow, not because you will be performing some outstanding work. You will be doing most invisible work of creating the values, the basic belief system of great organizations. That will make you the heroes. Whether somebody recognizes you or not, that is not material. But you'll be performing the most important role of the heroes. Look at the heroes of today. Asha Chaumar, who got Padma Shri Award last year, who is the CEO of Sulabh Sauchalay International. What she said? She said for her, dignity of work is most important. She always considered everybody equal, and she was always prepared to put in her best efforts. She always respected physical work, and that is the reason that she has created one of the greatest organizations of all times in our history, Sulabh Sauchalay. What a great organization it is. She has been able to create a great organization, not because it is government supported or it is supported by anybody else. No, it is not supported by anybody. It is self-sustaining organization. It is great for its values. So organizations are great if they have great values. Great values are created by people, individuals like you. So you have to prepare yourself for those values. You know what happened when IIM Ahmedabad was started. IIM Ahmedabad was originally to be set up in Mumbai, but great institution builder Mr. Vikram Sarabhai requested Nehruji that IIM be set up in Ahmedabad. So it became IIM Ahmedabad. Earlier it was planned to be set up IIM Mumbai, but because of a great institution builder who was originally from Ahmedabad, Mr. Vikram Sarabhai, he requested Vikram Nehruji to give him permission to establish IIM. And he started from his own building. And later on, when IIM was being constructed, he was walking there. And he found that some workers were planning to cut a tree. Then he asked, why are you planning to cut this tree? The worker said, as per the plan of architect Mr. Louis Kahn, this tree needs to be cut. Then Vikram Sarabhai immediately took out his pen, changed the plan and allowed the tree to remain there. He said, no, we will modify our plans, but we don't want to cut the tree. That was the greatness. And this is kind of stories still percolate down among the people who are working in IIM Ahmedabad. They love environment, they respect environment, they love and respect trees. So the story started from Vikram Sarabhai, who way back in 1960s was trying to conceive a dream to establish IIM. So the values were, put there. The most important seeds were the values, the ideas which Vikram Sarabhai put. Vikram Sarabhai was responsible for establishing many great institutions. And in all these great institutions, we find great ideas still thriving. Great people are working there. They are truly great organizations. You don't find that greatness in other public sector organizations. You go in any PWD, for example, you will not find anyone reporting to office on time. If the office time starts at 10, nobody will come till 10:15. If the office time is 9 a.m., nobody will reach there until 9:15. Nobody comes there on time and nobody is working there also. After coming, that's loitering here and they are wasting their time. These are also government organizations. And they're criminally wasting the money of the public. Right? This is one side. On the other hand, you go to any organization which Vikram Sarabhai established. You go to IIM Ahmedabad, or you go to Atira, or you go to Space Research Center Ahmedabad, or you go to any organization where Vikram Sarabhai was the founder. And what do you find? If the office time starts at 10, people will come there at 9:45. People come before office time, show highest commitment, show highest dedication, and during their office time, they are fully involved, fully dedicated. And that is the reason all these organizations which Vikram Sarabhai established, they are truly great institutions. So great institutions are because of the great founders. So tomorrow you will be entrepreneurs, you will be tomorrow the corporate leaders. So you have to show these greatness in your conduct, in your actions. And you have to establish great organizations by showing your commitment to values, showing your commitment to very high Indian standards. So when you will love Indian traditions, Indian culture, Indian heritage, Indian values, and you will show respect to them, you will adopt them in your conduct, you will adopt them in your behavior, and you will show those things to your juniors, you will be creating the great organizations of tomorrow. That is what we expect from you. You look at the present organizations, those that are working and the way they are working. If you look at them, what they are doing, how they are doing, their greatness have some many things in common. For example, look at Jaipur Rugs, or look at Sulabh Shauchalay, or look at Seva. These are truly great organizations. What do you find there? They are not giving any heed to caste, creed, or any such thing. They are giving highest respect to workers. They are committed to work. Their only criteria of merit is commitment to work. They are truly, you find the leaders in this organization are so committed, so humble, so down to earth. Each one of them is trying their best to promote human dignity, to promote individual excellence, transparency, collaboration, mutual trust, mutual respect. And that's why all these organizations are great organizations. So when we really want organizations to become great organizations, We have to seed greatness through values, through stories, through inspirations, through actions, and then it works. If organization is not great, then you have to use OD interventions, because either create great organizations or close down them. We already have plenty of useless organizations on our earth. And because of these useless organizations, our civilization is suffering. Our country, India, is suffering not because we don't have great organizations. We have many great organizations, but the problem is we have plenty of useless organizations which we are not willing to close down. They continue to work. And because there are plenty of useless organizations, the work of the great organizations becomes very small. Because of that, our country is going down and down every day. Why our country is going down and down every day? It's simple, because the great organizations are in small numbers and useless organizations are in plenty. And these useless organizations are spreading bad ideas in the society. There are so many organizations where corruption is rampant. People are not willing to work. People are, just avoiding work. People work only when they get bribe. Everybody knows about them, but no action is being undertaken. Does our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji does not know? Yes, he also knows. He knows that these are organizations which are highly corrupt organizations. And there is no way to improve them. The only way is shut down these organizations, close down these organizations, undertake a survey, find out who are these corrupt organizations and close down them organizations. Because you cannot revive them. They are completely corrupt organization. Better to close down. If an organization is slightly poor, then use OD intervention, organization development interventions. Improvise that organization. Allow that organization make that organization open organization, transparent organization. Allow people to introduce self-rejuvenation. Let the organization revive itself. Right? And what does it require? You have to create positive belief system. You must believe on people. You must believe on positiveness of people, create positivity, create proactiveness, enable people to play a positive role, enable people to play a transformative role, let people discuss and prepare a strategy to transform that organization. Let people, start thinking about how to create a great organization. You must have trust on people. You must allow people to work in a collaborative manner, and it will happen. And people will again bring back that organization to outstanding organization. But that is when you have some weaknesses. But when everything is weak, you cannot transform. If you will give people freedom, people will misuse. If you will trust people, people will create problems for you. There are many such organizations in India. Now, what do? The only option available to you is blacklist those organizations, blacklist those employees, close down those organizations, and don't allow those employees to work anywhere else. Because those organizations are so corrupt. The corruption has gone to the blood of every employee who is working there. They will not be prepared to work without bribes. So what do you have? Option? No option at all. And the only option is to close down such organization. So we look forward to the future where we can have a corruption-free society. A corruption-free society is possible provided we are willing to shut away and close down the existing organization and allow bright individuals like you to create new organizations for the future. That trust is required, that belief is required, right? And if government can have that trust, that belief, probably we will be able to see the great organizations tomorrow. Hello. मैं क्लास में हूं अपने, आप थोड़ा अगर अभी कॉल नहीं करें तो बेहतर रहेगा. So we are in the process where all of us have the moral responsibility of creating great organizations. How do we create great organizations? The best way to create great organization is to create great leaders. We require plenty of great leaders. And if we can have great leaders, there will be great organizations of tomorrow. So you all have to play the responsibility of great leaders. The biggest mistakes that we have done in last 7 decades is that we have not created leaders. We have not created great leaders. We have not created those leaders who can create great organizations of tomorrow. So our apathy towards creating great organizations have paid us very dearly. And today, what we find that we have plenty of leaderless organizations. Nobody wants to take leadership roles. Everybody is ready to take high salary. Everybody is ready to undertake strikes. Everybody is ready to undertake lockouts. Everybody is ready to organize dharnas. These kind of leadership activities are accepted. But nobody wants to take the responsibility of transforming an organization into great organization. That is a big tragedy. List down. You will be surprised. There are hundreds of government supported or government organizations, hundreds of government organizations. And none of them is great. None of them is like Sulabh Shauchalaya. None of them is like Seva. None of them is like Jaipur Rugs. None of them has leaders. You don't find any leader like N.K. Chaudhary. N.K. Chaudhary is the founder of Jaipur Rugs. What a great leader he is. Full of humility, full of dedication, full of commitment, full of great values. He respects human dignity. He respects everybody. A great human being indeed, a great leader indeed. Now, do you find any such leader in any PWD? We have so many PWDs in our country. In every city we have one PWD. Do we find any leader like N.K. Chaudhary? No. Not a single. Not a single. In every city we have a PWD. In every city we have a registrar office, registrar of properties. Not one but many. Not a one office you will find where you will find 100% honest and dedicated officers. एक भी नहीं मिले. Our country may be having 1000 registrar office. You will not find even one office which is free from corruption. Highly corrupt organization. And everybody knows, including the Prime Minister of our country. Everybody knows that if you want to get registration of your property, you have to pay a bribe. And the advocates do this work. They pass on the bribe. Does anti-corruption department does not know? Yes, it knows. But the problem is they don't take any action against them. Otherwise, you close down these organizations and start new organization. Our apathy is, our weakness is, we don't have strong leaders who are there to close down these organizations. And that's why these corrupt organizations continue. Right? Police department, most of the police offices are corrupt. RTO offices full of corruption. You don't find any RTO office which is 100% without bribe. Hundreds of RTO offices are there in our country. Don't find single one which is without corruption. Then why are you paying on them? Why are you spending money on them? Close down. We don't have dearth of great people. We don't have dearth of great people. We should have trust on our leaders, on our future leaders. Young people like you should be trusted, and each one of you can create great organization. So you can take up this responsibility. Each one of you can create one great organization, and the problems of corrupt organizations can be easily solved in our country. Corruption is not such a big problem which cannot be solved. It requires willpower. It requires great leaders. Unfortunately, the political leaders, most of the political leaders, they're too busy in their small political issues. They're not paying any attention to corruption as a major problem. Otherwise, it's not a big problem. It can immediately be solved. And you can see it wherever it has been solved, wherever corruption, where the government has taken strong, bold actions, corruption has been completely removed. Take, for example, passport office. Once, every passport office was fully corrupt. So much of corruption was there. You could not get your passport without corruption. But once the government decided to do away with, they boldly removed corruption from passport office. Today, it is 100% without corruption. What a great achievement it is. So similar achievements are possible. Driving license. Earlier, you could not get driving license without corruption. There was so much of corruption. Today, it is available without any bribe. So fortunately, it has now improved. So similarly, step by step, every day you can remove corruption in one department, clear it, and then this is how you can create a great country. So we require those people who are committed. And if those people can come forward, it will solve the problems. Why we are embracing private sector? Because as we have seen already, the private sector, for example, private sector banks came. And when private sector banks came, ultimately what happened? The corruption in public sector bank removed. Public sector enterprises, public sector banks, they were so difficult. Getting loan from a public sector bank was so difficult earlier. Even opening bank account in public sector bank was so difficult earlier. When private sector banks were allowed, slowly things smoothened because competition started. And today, public sector banks which are not able to compete well, they are in huge losses. They have to improve. They are now changing themselves. They are now asking their managers to work politely, to work with customer-oriented approach. They are adopting performance assessment systems. They are trying to evaluate the performance of their executives. So what do we find? Because of the private sector banks, the public sector banks have changed and they are now trying to become very good banks. So similarly, it can all be done in every sector. Government universities, they require complete transformation. In India, we have more than 30 agriculture universities, and none of them is contributing anything. You ask any agriculture university vice chancellor that, have you trained any farmer? Have you written any article in common language so that farmers could benefit from your research? Have you developed any agriculture variety for farmers? Have you tried to help any farmer at all? The answer is a big no. The agriculture universities have been established primarily to help the farmers. And if their professors have so much of ego that none of them has even visited farmers, none of them have sent their students to farmers, what is their role? Their role is a big zero. So better you close down them and allow new agriculture private universities to emerge who should be committed to farming, who should be committed to farmers, small farmers, who should support small farmers, and immediately you'll find transformation of agriculture in our country. So this is the way in every sector. We need transformation. We need transformative leaders. And if we start transformation, our country will become true heaven again. Our country will progress immediately. The progress is not in terms of monetary progress. The progress is in terms of overall happiness. People should feel happy. People should feel spiritual. People should feel lighter. People should feel the joy of living. So that all these things are possible if we have leaders. Right now, we don't have leaders. We are living in a leaderless society. And that's why I told in the beginning that all this discussion that we are doing here, the basic purpose is that we want you to become the leaders of tomorrow. We want you to take up the leadership roles of tomorrow. How will you become great leaders? That is our agenda. We want you to become leaders. We want you to become great leaders. We want you to create great institutions, great organizations. How will that be possible? That's why we are discussing all these things. What you have to do is not miracle, but what you have to do is just honest work that you have to do. And for that, we are trying to prepare you mentally. If you will do your work honestly, with full belief, with full confidence, you will do miracles. That is not happening today. When fresh IAS officers are recruited, they are very honest. They are committed to honesty. And they are not mentally prepared to become dishonest. But once they join corrupt organizations, they are groomed by their corrupt superiors, their surroundings. They become corrupt. And because that entire organization is corrupt, then they have only two choices, either to quit or to continue with the corrupt practices and become corrupt. And they adopt the second option. And they also become corrupt. And that's why you find, you go there, you go to registrar office and you meet the registrar of properties. He might be an IAS or RAS or some senior government officer, and you meet him. You find you collect data about his childhood. You will find that the same person was a very honest boy when that person was studying in school. But because he is a part of a corrupt organization, he is today a very, very corrupt person. Because he cannot live without corruption there. And he does not have leadership qualities. He left his honesty behind. He did not have the moral guts, the courage to speak against corruption, to fight against corruption. He did not have anyone to support him. He alone could not fight. And ultimately, he surrendered. Right? When Arvind Kejriwal came in Indian political scenario, then he started narrating his stories. You know, earlier he was an officer in the Indian Revenue Services Department, and he was, he narrated his stories that he was in a very environment where there was corruption everywhere, and therefore he decided to quit. And he wanted to bring honesty in the public sector domain, and therefore he became a leader. And he got good votes. Even now he gets a lot of votes. Arvind Kejriwal is getting huge votes from Indian people, because people see him as a great role model. And yes, what a man he is. In order to bring honesty, he has quit the government job and come here to make India corruption-free India. People have a hope from it, right? Whether the hope is belied or not, I'm not talking about that. But what I'm saying is, people want to see honest people with honesty in their role. And therefore, we all look forward to that day when you will remain steadfast, adamant on your honesty, committed to your values, committed to your beliefs, and you will see that your ideas are able to pierce the opposition and you are able to bring a great organization to life. Right? Each one of you has that ability. Each one of you has the ability to bring one great organization to life. That's possible. And it's not a big deal. It's will not be magic. It is possible. It is there in you. So somebody who tries to make you corrupt, if you are adamant, he cannot make you corrupt. And if he cannot make you corrupt, you can continue to work honestly. Right? We have seen many published organizations also, many great officers also. I'll give you example of Mr. Mahendra Khadkawat. He's director of archives in Bikaner. He could have also become a corrupt officer, but no. He remained honest, dedicated, committed, and today he has completely transformed his office. Earlier, his office was highly corrupt. You could not get any paper from that office without bribe. But in last 2 decades, Mahendra Khadkawat has completely transformed this organization, made it completely online office. It has created the best archives library and transformed over 50 crore documents into online documents. He really spent the government money in fruitful purpose and created the best archives department of the world that you can see in the world. Now, one man, a simple individual just like us, but only thing was that he was committed to ensure that the government's money is spent on right cause, no corruption is allowed, no wrong practices are allowed, and that's what he has done. And his simple, honest initiatives has converted archives department into world's best archives department. If other officers are also like Mahendra Khadkawat, each government department can become world's best organization. So what do you do for that? That is what we are discussing here. Just instill a confidence. You can do it. You all can do it. The youth of today, if they take a commitment of honesty, dedicated efforts, positive belief, positive action, positive belief system, collaborative work approach, you can do miracles. Amazing things you can do without any extraordinary magic. Simple life, simple things, and you will be wonderful. You will be wondering that great miracles have happened. We want all those things to happen now. Right? The corrupt officers have more difficult life because they are not able to sleep properly, because they are always engaged in corrupt practices. They are always worried. They cannot smile. They cannot shake hand with you. They cannot, they cannot adopt a transparent working style, transparent lifestyle, because they are always lying. They are not happy at all. The corrupt people, whatever money they earn, they cannot show it to anybody. Ultimately, that money goes in wrong paths. So these people end up in losing that money also. They are not able to even keep that corrupt money also. So they spoil their life, they spoil their family's life, they spoil our public societies, they spoil our Indian society, they spoil Indian culture, heritage, everything. So there is a need to create awareness among people that let's kill this virus. This virus is more dangerous than COVID-19. And it is already eating India for last 7 decades. So let's fight against this virus. Let's develop the youth of today to prepare for tomorrow. How can we do it? We all can do it through united efforts. Little efforts each of us can do. And with these little efforts, the future will be great. We'll find great organizations in the years to come. And that is what we want. So if you get a chance, try to study online or personally organizations like Sulabh Shauchalaya, like Seva, like Blind People Association, Jaipur Rags. You see them, what these people have done, how they have done. They are all ordinary people like you. And if they have created great organization, then you have to treat them as your future. You have to take a commitment that you will be also creating great organizations like them. And this is a small thing that we expect from you.